Hello YouTube, this is DZ Maven here again, and this is part 2 of my Gunpla Building tutorial, showing off how I usually build my kits here. So in part 1 I talked about the tools, and here in part 2 I'm going to look at the kit we have in question here. And we're going to do kind of an unboxing of it, kind of look at the sprues and everything, and look at the booklet here, and I want to point out some things that you might want to take notice of when you're opening up your kit and looking it over for the first time here. So right here I have the Master Grade Wing Gundam here. Should get a good look at this here. Very nice box art here. And usually on these boxes, side of boxes, you'll see some example poses, and they'll talk about the different modes and the weapons here. This is all in Japanese, so obviously I can't read it, but if you can read it, good for you. You can know what all that is here. If you're always curious about the yen price on Gunpla kits here, it's usually going to be here next to the barcode here on this last part of this numeral here. So in this case, the Wing Gundam is 4,000 yen, as indicated right here. A nice another shot on the side, and a little bit of the frame mechanism showing here on the side here with a full body shot, shot of the rear, more poses, and some more general information about the kit here. And what's also nice about the Wing Gundams, they show you the bird mode on the bottom side of the box. Oh, actually, this is the top side of the box, actually. They show you that also, which is pretty nice here. So let me start unboxing this thing here for you here. So as I'm doing this, I want to tell you a little story here from my youth here. Probably back around 1998, 97 or 99, probably around that time here, I started getting into Gunpla. And one of the early kits I wanted to get was the 1/100th high grade Wing Gundam. And I had ordered one from a website, which I do not remember, a very long time ago. And I never got that kit. So, of course I got over that. I don't know what happened with that order. It just sort of disappeared into the ether. And that was kind of it. I never got my Wing Gundam. But you know what? The heck with it. There's now a Master Grade Wing Gundam, and from everything I've heard, it is so much better. And it is generally a overall pretty awesome kit here. So, I've got these runners here. They all come in these little noisy little bags here. Usually one of the first runners they're going to pull out is the A plate, and that's usually going to be a multicolor runner here, like you see here. Here we got yellow, red, and this is a gunmetal type of color here, including your clear parts right there here. In here you also get your stickers. You have your foil stickers, which are right here, which are pretty common in most kits here. You'll usually see these in just about every kit nowadays. Behind that we have a set of the dry transfer decals. These are usually some of the best looking decals you can get, but they're also a bit of a pain in the ass to apply and put on, and you usually only get like one shot at these. And behind that we have the standard sticker markings decals. You get these in just about every master grade kit, and perfect grades and real grades, and there are a few high grade kits that have these as well on them. And when I get to the decaling here, I'll show you how I apply these here. But anyway, that's usually the first plate. You got all your plates are pretty much in bags here. You got white here, blue. There's another. Is that gray? Yeah. Nope, that's actually the polycap is in there. Then white here. Your yellow parts. More of this gunmetal color, and this is more gunmetal. I'm using gunmetal for the frame here, and more frame parts and your beam sabers here. Okay, so I'm going to open these up so you can take a closer look at these runners here, because there's a few things I do kind of want to point out here. So, be back in just a second here. Alright, and I'm back here. So now I've got all of these unwrapped here, and here is the A runner here. Generally, when you open these up, or even before you actually take them out of the bags, you kind of want to take a quick look over these and make sure there's like no parts that are broken off the sprue tree and are just kind of hanging loose inside the bag. That tends to happen probably a little more often than you would realize, but I haven't noticed anything right off the spot opening these up. And basically you just want to give your runners kind of a general look over, make sure there's nothing damaged on here and warped or anything like that here. Bandai's quality control tends to be pretty good with this sort of thing here. So like I said, this is the A plate, looks great. And moving on down the road, your B plate here. Looks like some leg parts, skirt armor, some parts for the shield, and your parts for the head here. A lot of the newer Master Grade Gundams will have cut-out vents in the head here. The Wing Gundam does not, so that obviously is going to have to be panel lined in. You get your little figures of Hero Yui right there here. Again, this part runner looks good, no issues there. You do get 2 of the C plate, which is right here. Look to be leg parts and wing parts. They look pretty good. I don't see anything out of missing or knocked off on these. And moving on down, we go to our blue parts, which are the D plate here. Parts for side skirts, main body. Arm parts here. So again, kind of giving a quick look over here. Another thing I'm trying to look for here is any spots of mold release compound. Bandai's pretty good at cleaning that off of the part runners, but every now and then I will find a little spot of that on their runners, but it's kind of a rare occurrence with them. If you're fully painting your kit, I mean, a lot of people suggest to do a washing of your parts. This is E plate, by the way, which is a lot of the yellow parts right there. Washing your parts in a solution of detergent and water. You can do that if you want. I mean, a lot of the professionals do that. I personally, it's not really something that I really do that much here whenever I'm going to do a full paint job. This is the gray part. It's kind of a little hard to see here. Turn up the white here, see if that's any better. There we go. This is a gunmetal color. Also, it's not gray here, so. Anyway, it looks kind of nice. I don't see anything out of place in here, but yeah. And washing the parts, the Bandai's pretty good at making sure the mold release is not on their runners. So you don't have to do it, in my opinion. But I mean, if you have some other kit, like a third-party kit or a resin kit, you most definitely need to wash your parts, because mold release compound will kind of be all over those. The mold release compound that I spot on Bandai kits usually looks like a little bit of white dust or something that's on the part, and you can usually spot it underneath the bags. But like I said, I haven't really seen anything on these parts here, so they're pretty clean and ready to go right out of the box here. But I'm not going to be fully painting this, so it's not really going to be a issue for me. These are the H plate, more internal frame stuff, gunmetal. Everything looks good on those. And lastly, we do get our beam sabers. The beam sabers, you kind of want to take a look at, just offhand. A lot of times the beam sabers in my kit seem to come bent for some reason, but this one actually looks kind of straight for once, so I guess I lucked out on that. Yep. And you get your polycaps. Not much polycaps in this kit here, so thankfully a lot of kits are, probably since the 2.0 series started, that Bandai's been kind of cutting back on the polycaps on their kits here, which is just pretty good for me here, because a lot of polycaps usually means a looser kit in my opinion. Lastly, I already showed out the decals. I tend to just keep these inside the little baggie here until I'm ready to use them here. Anyway, the decals, I usually just keep them inside their plastic sleeve until I'm ready to start using them, so they're just going to stay like that for now. Alright, so let's take a look at the instruction booklet here. Let me move the sprues out of the way here. Give me a second here. Alright, so here we have the Wing Gundam Master Grade instruction booklet here. This is kind of typical of the older style, Master Grade style, where you have the colored bars and silver in the middle here of a profile of the kit here. This has kind of been the standard look for Master Grade manuals, probably since the very first one. And on the back we have a nice image of the finished Wing Gundam here. Usually you'll get a little section about some information about the particular mobile suit in here. It's all in Japanese, so you can't really read it. But in the newer kits, since December last year, Bandai has started translating these things, so you can start to read this stuff here. Alright, at the bottom here you kind of have just this diagram. It's not really anything important here. It's just kind of pointing out the general body parts of the Gundam here. A lot of this you can probably already guess what it is. Wing thrusters, main body, head sensors, buster rifle, shield, foot, whatever. And flipping through here. Alright, you do have your layout of all the different part runners you have here. Starting with A, B, C, D. And usually this is where you'll start to see like something X'd out here. That means a part that is not used here. In this case, the Wing Gundam only uses one beam saber, so you don't need the extra one, so you can just hang on to that as an extra. Use it for something else if you want. Here they kind of talk a little bit about the undergating of parts here. And that is a specific method of sprue molding on the parts here, where the nub is kind of on the underside of a part, that it won't be shown here. And they're kind of showing you here how you would clip that off here. They want to make sure you clip the entire nub off and not leave it on there, because leaving it on would be bad and then your part won't fit properly. And moving on in here, you have this basic guide to get you started here. If you can read Japanese, it will make a lot more sense to you. Here they're talking about basically assembly order for your parts here. These little marks here, they generally are orientation marks. You want to make sure your part is oriented correctly when you assemble it, so it goes in the correct way and doesn't get jammed in the wrong way, because that would be kind of bad for you. Down here they kind of talk briefly about how to apply the dry transfers. I will demonstrate that when I get to that part of the tutorial videos. And down here again they're kind of talking about how to remove your parts from the sprue tree. I will demonstrate that for you probably in the next part. But generally the idea is to take your nippers and cut away from the part here. As you indicate there, you don't want you to cut right up next to it. You want to cut it off, leave a little bit of nub, and then clip off the rest of the nub like so, because they don't want you to leave it on there, because again that would be a bad thing. You won't leave it on there. So, and this other part here just kind of talks about the general order of construction here. It's not really that important here. Generally most of these kits here, they start with the body, then they go to the head, then the left and right arms, and then the right and left legs, and then the waist and backpack, and then weapons. That's usually the order they go in most of the time here. So here we just kind of going over the body construction here. Now head units here, again they kind of show you here, you hear about applying one of the foil stickers during assembly here. I may do that or not. I'll probably... Sometimes I use the foil stickers for the eyes, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I paint them in, but it's not always something I do here. Especially for plain sensors, I tend to try and paint the sensors in and not use the stickers, because I think it looks nicer here. So here are the arm unit here. You see this little X2 here that kind of tells you they want you to build this assembly twice. In this case, this is something for the arm, so obviously you're going to just duplicate your construction for the right and the left arm. And again, just kind of showing you the orientation marks here. They have them kind of throughout the kit here. You want to pay attention to those things. And here we got our little layout of some more information about the kit here, and a little bit of poses and everything, and some more general information here. Here they kind of tell you about panel lining here, what the kit looks like before and after some panel lining detail. Definitely looks better after, so I will definitely try to go for panel lining here. You do get your color guide right here. These paint guides here are for the, I believe they're for Mr. Hobby Paints, I believe. I believe that's what they're for. These are not for Tamiya Pacific Paints or Testers Paints or anything like that. I believe they are for Mr. Hobby Paints, which is pretty much only really available in Japan. So again, if you're painting, even with painting my kits, this is not something I really pay that much attention to. Generally I try and go for the closest looking color to this and just go with it. But for those people who like mixing their paints and airbrushing, this might be helpful. But for most of us living in the West, it's really not that helpful, because we don't have access to the exact Mr. Hobby paints. So again, I really wouldn't worry about that too much. here we got the legs again. Build your legs twice here and through. Again, a lot of this really isn't that important. But I do also want to kind of point out here that they do kind of show you which sprue trees you want to have on hand when building this particular component here. Like for the legs here, they want you to have sprue tree A, B, C, F, H, and the polycaps for that here. So it kind of helps you be a little bit more organized. And here we got a photo about the weapons, and this goes over the transformation of the Wing Gundam. It's not the most complicated transformation here. Just spin the body around, flip those both side skirts up. Shoulders are gonna move up and down, I believe. Yeah, do a little bit of work with the arms and move the legs up and around and everything, and attach the gun to the shield, and the shield attaches to the backpack. And that's how it is. And you should get a adapter for the action base here, which is not something that the kit comes with, but it probably is recommended to have one on hand anyway for this. And lastly, you get your suggested marking placement here. I say that as suggested marking placement because you don't have to follow this guide. Generally, it's pretty good overall most of the time, but I mean, sometimes you may be cases where you don't want to put the stickers on the kit here, or you want to put something else completely different on it. So I mean, it's totally up to you. That's why it is suggested here. And even a lot of times in a lot of kits I built, they will not use all of the stickers or the decals they give you here. A lot of times you end up with some leftover extras, and that's not something to worry about. That's usually intentional. Bandai sometimes is generous with their stickers here, so you can always save them and use them for a different kit in the future here. So anyway, that's the look over of the kit here that we're going to be working on here. I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you are looking forward too. And I will see y'all in the next video. Hope you found it interesting. Okay, take care and bye-bye.